Hi there. Just going to run through, basically I have a lot of questions about how to put a scope on correctly and to get the right sight picture. So what I'm going to do is run through what I do and where I put on the scope as well. Okay, here we have an AT. It's an AT14. 14 stands for it got made in 2014. The gun is clear, so no need to worry about that. The scope I'm using today is a Smith & Bender times 5 times 25 times 56. It's the actual scope I did my shot with, and just managed to keep it. It's a good scope. I like Smith & Bender scopes. Many people go for Night Force, but I prefer these ones. This one's got an obviously elevation drum, an infinity drum. It's like fine focus. You can also judge distance with that as well, and also the deflection drum. Also on this I've got illumination drum, which makes the graticle in there glow up red, which is pretty handy for night time or dusk. And also you have a rubber band through here to put you to different levels of the focus. What I've done on this, I've attached like a finger loop around it, so it's easier for me to do it quickly instead of slipping around doing it, because these do perish sometimes when it's cold and rainy. Your hands are slippery, so this makes it much easier for myself. And obviously at the end here you have a focus ring, okay, to give you that clear glass picture. What I'm going to do now is just put it onto the AT, but before I do that I'll show you that the scope mount I've got here is a 0 MOA. So basically it's a flat scope mount, and mainly used for short distances, but can go up long distances. Alright, but what you're aiming for, if you want to do long distance, so aim for a 20 or 30. Alright, this raises the scope mount up, and it gives you more long range shooting. Okay. The rail we've got on this AT is a 20 MOA. Alright, so this goes down same. You can go 0, you can go 20, it goes 30. Right, but this one particularly is a 20 MOA. With this as well, 0 MOA, you can probably catch 1,000 yards with this one quite easy. Okay. What I'm going to do now is attach the scope to the picketing rail. As you can see there, I am right at the last indentation in the picketing rail. All right, and that's how I fire, and I seem to get a nice scope picture when I do that. All you do then is you grab a number 4 Allen key. All right, I always go for the center screw first. You do it up, so I know that's clamped on now. All right. If you do tend to do this one first or this one first, okay, what I believe is that you can twist the scope, all right, so you're not getting a direct angle all the way down to the rifle. And then tighten the back up, and then the front. Like so. And there's a scope mounted onto this AT. Right. Sight picture. When you're looking through this scope, what you're aiming for, I'll draw something here. What you're aiming for is a crystal clear picture through the glass. Alright, so you can just see a slight outline of the scope ring itself. Alright, but it's nice and crystal clear. And your bullet there, the black dot represents the bullet, will fly quite center. This one here, this black mark is called a floating aperture. This is what you don't want. All right, this tells me that your eye is too close to the scope or it's too far away from the scope. All right, and that's where your bullet would go. All right, so it's black there, your bullet would go high. Same with this one. As you can see the difference between this one, you have a black ring around it. It's not a crystal clear glass picture. So this one, alright, you're telling me again that your scope is too far or too close to your eye. And your round can go anywhere around that location. This one here is a floating aperture. This one goes to the top right, and this tells me again that your eye is too close to the scope and too close, or it's too far away on the picketing rail. As you can see there, where the darkness is there and where the round will fly. Okay, so ideally you're after a crystal, well, not ideally, but importantly you're after that crystal clear picture on your scope, and your round will go dead center. Okay, when you're taking this scope off, I did a force of habit. Well, I always do it the opposite way that I done it up. So I undo the first one at the front, second one at the rear, and the middle one in the center, like so, and just lift the scope off. Alright, you don't have to do that. That's a sort of ritual that I've been doing for a long time, and it's just my thing basically, but it works for me and I'm quite happy with it. So then, just to clarify, that what you're after on the picture of the scope is a nice crystal clear picture, none of the other three. Alright, if you do experience some of the other three, that's telling me, like I said, that your eye's too close or too away from the target. Alright, and you just be chasing that aperture around. Okay guys, thanks a lot.